Well, the idiots in Ottawa are relentless. They're dragging us into a trade war with our largest trading partner. Now, some people in Western Canada are seeing this as an opportunity to get the heck out of Dodge. Ladies and gents, welcome back. I can't express to you how much I think that this is a worst idea ever pitched by Canadian politicians to enter a trade war with the United States instead of just, I don't know, perhaps fixing our border issues. This is a thing that is happening right now. Yeah, that's right. So 25% tariffs have been imposed on Canada across the board, and this is a punitive run of tariffs to push Canada into possibly fixing their border issues, fixing the issue with narcotics and bad stuff that's happening a lot in Canada. And it seems that nobody is being busted about this. Now, Justin Trudeau obviously using this as an opportunity for political gain with his party, and it's working. It seems to be working, at least in Eastern Canada. But I mean, let me just show you the scene in Eastern Canada. This is just unbelievable. This is Justin Trudeau's ego, obviously a parody account on X. I've just officially retaliated against President Trump's tariffs by calling him dumb. Yeah, that's right. He did that, and not only that, by calling him by his first name.
Now, it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal, but Donald,
yeah, it is.
They point out that even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do.
Well, you know what is a dumb thing to do? A dumb thing to do would be to, I don't know, have a trade war with the United States of America. It's just really not smart, especially after the economic woes that we're seeing because of this guy. That's right. This guy, the final act. This is the final act of him and what he's doing. But the fact of the matter is that some people in the Western provinces are seeing this as a perfect opportunity to do what they've wanted to do for a long time. And that is get the heck out of Dodge, get out of Canada. The deal has been pretty sour for Albertans for a long time, and they're looking to possibly get themselves out of here. So Rachel Parker, journalist, put this out on X. New Alberta lawyer Jeffrey Rath, you've seen him on the show before. He's been suing the government, and successfully, I might add, for a long time. Says the delegate is planning to travel to DC to pitch President Trump on Alberta statehood. It's quite evident that we're being governed by idiots in Ottawa. There's a number of us in Alberta that have had enough, and that number is growing.
Alberta statehood.
Well, there's a group of Albertans that are working together right now to put together a delegation to go to Washington to talk to the Trump administration about Alberta petitioning for U.S. statehood. It's quite evident that we're being governed by idiots in Ottawa who don't understand that we can't afford a trade war with our largest trading partner, and rather than simply apologizing to President Trump for not meeting our NATO commitments and not adequately securing our border, apparently the Trudeau government has decided to declare a trade war and run up trillions of dollars in costs like they did during COVID on a made-up emergency. So there's a number of us in Alberta that have had enough and want to go speak with the Trump administration about the benefits of Alberta joining the United States.
That is interesting development. Now, I spoke to Jeffrey Rath yesterday after I saw this on the internet, and because Jeffrey Rath is not on Twitter, and here he is. He was all over Twitter yesterday, of course, over this exactly. And he spoke to me. He said, yeah, he's not, because I asked immediately, whose ear do you have in DC? And he couldn't say, but that information will be released soon. It seems like it's pretty high up, and this is serious. This is actually a serious move because the situation couldn't be more serious, as pointed out by Rupa Subramanya. Every study out there by both Canadian and American economists shows that the harm to Canada will be much greater than it is to the U.S. With Canada retaliating in effect, it will be doubly hurt. We will be doubly hurt with almost zero impact on the U.S. How is this putting Canada first? I fully expect the Liberal Party to play the retaliation game and get Canadians to rally around the flag, which has seen them go up in the polls. But the Conservative Party, for example, is in lockstep with them with this retaliation. It will create further harm to Canada. It is perplexing. As far as I'm aware, if they've not even reached out to Trump, which is even more puzzling. This is incredible. And here's a graph here. This was an opportunity for them to show that they're different, and Pierre has both the smarts and the articulation to make the case to Canadians, but he's opted not to do so. I would argue that's a political decision why he's not done that, because Canadians are in a mass formation psychosis right now, and they're rallying around the flag instead of common sense, which he has been preaching. This is a common sense chart. This will tell you just where we stand. So this is projected percentage point of inflation from baseline for each country if we have a trade war. And well, look at that. The US in black is not, they might see a little bit of inflation. Canada, Mexico, massive. When it comes to GDP, well, projected percentage of real GDP from baseline forecast for each country in this scenario where we have a trade war. Well, look at it again. Black line, US. This is with retaliation. They might feel a little bit more pain, but look at the amount of pain that Canada and Mexico are going to feel. No one's going to be able to last this one out. I mean, they could just hang on to this and have a war of attrition. Now, this is the question here. Is there actually support for this? Now, Danielle Smith has said in press conferences that there isn't really support for Western separation or Alberta separation for that matter.
But this kind of concept of Alberta becoming a 51st or 50th and a half state.
I see no enthusiasm for that notion. What I have seen is the opposite. I have seen so many Canadians and Albertans in particular reaching out and saying we got to put Canada first.
Now, that may be true. There is a lot of people reaching out saying we got to put Alberta first, but there are also a lot of people saying that this is how we put Alberta first. Instead of Canada first, put Alberta first. It's almost like the adage of, Texans in the United States are very proud people, and obviously for good reasons. They always say that they're Texan first. Albertans do this a lot. You listen to Marty up north on the Marty and Clyde show every week. He says a lot of this sentiment exactly. But Rachel Parker putting this out there saying Americans welcome the idea of statehood after prominent lawyer Jeffrey Rath says he's creating a delegate to pitch to President Trump on the idea, and also that I think there is a bigger appetite than Danielle Smith would like to say publicly. There is a lot of people with this exact sentiment saying this. Exactly. Now, Jeffrey Rath has been talking about this for some time, and he's been pushing this one out there. Alberta needs to petition for American statehood. With the election of Donald Trump, Alberta is in a unique opportunity to shed its inferior status as a Canadian province, effectively a colony of Ontario and Quebec. I mean, just look at the transfer payments. Everyone in Alberta understands the idea of transfer payments and this payola for no reason. I mean, there's no reason to stick around. Now, at the present time, even the Conservatives with Pierre Poilievre are not willing to put transfer payments on the table. We're in a unique opportunity. We're in a unique situation where with Donald Trump, Alberta has a better deal. It really looks better for Alberta going to the United States. There's no doubt that President Donald Trump will be happy to announce Alberta statehood as the greatest real estate deal since the Louisiana Purchase, as the culmination of American and 250th anniversary celebration. The good news for President Trump is that thanks to the Quebec's secession reference at the Supreme Court of Canada, Trump doesn't have to buy Alberta from Canada. Albertans only need to vote to leave. This is the situation that we are sitting in Canada. Now, go back in history and look at Danielle Smith and her position on this. It wasn't actually much different than Jeffrey Rath's position is today.
maybe does need to be some more collaboration between our 4 Western provinces. And if you go and just draw the line straight down North America, maybe all the way down to Texas, maybe that needs to be the new alignment of how our trade ties work. And then we can still have a relationship with Canada and Ottawa, but it will no longer be our most important relationship. Our most important relationship should be with our peers who we will have more direct trading relationships with. And the country never really made sense east-west. It still doesn't, because if you look at the fact that we don't even have an east-west pipeline, for instance, that gives you an indication of how difficult it is to try to get anything done across the entire country. Maybe we should start just make a decision that we're going to work together on regional interests and create, because we do have this new West partnership, and we do have mechanisms to do it. Maybe you formalize it, and then you broaden it out and just spend more time developing collaborations with people who want to collaborate with you. I feel like we keep on banging our head against the wall, asking Quebec and Ontario to love us, and they don't.
And they don't. And that's really what it comes down to. Now, of course, Jeff Rath also has, I leave the links to all of this in the description down below. Little Justin Trudeau starts a tariff war. He gave a 17-point process for avoiding the trade war. And of course, Justin Trudeau, no, he has no interest in doing this. You don't let a good emergency go to waste. I mean, great points in this. Immediately apologize to President Trump for the fact that Canada has been a lousy freeloading neighbor and acknowledge that he's been right. Advise President Trump that Canada will immediately begin to simultaneously address this issue. Declare a national border emergency, and then the list goes on. Take care of the bad stuff, the narcotics that are coming across the border. This is what we should have been doing. And here's the deal. A lot of people in Canada, a lot of the provinces, a lot of business people in Canada across the board have been looking at it like, I trade with the United States. I trade directly with my neighbors. But these people all the way across the continent in Ottawa are telling me that I can't, that I'm not allowed to. I've had a great relationship with these people for a long time, but Ottawa is telling me that I can't. So Ottawa maybe shouldn't be part of this deal anymore. And this is how people are looking at it. I'd love to know what you think in the comment section down below. Should Ottawa be able to dictate to the rest of the country what we should be doing with our trading partners, with the people just across the border from us? And our businesses rely on this stuff. It seems like we're being held hostage by Trudeau, not Trump, in this scenario. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.